That is not what I want. Hey guys, one second. I am trying to get things set up properly, but it is not working for me. So, um, welcome. Crystal Nicole here. Let me do this really quickly. Okay, I think I'm good. All right. So, YouTube, Instagram, thank you for joining in. I am also live on Facebook as well. So, bear with me. Every time I'm on here, I'm trying something different. Okay. Hey everybody, I apologize for being a little bit behind, like actually a lot behind today. My thing is Be Purpose to start at 7 o'clock. It's 7:07, and for whatever reason, I am like really technically challenged, even though that's what I do in my job. But I'm here, glad to be here, glad that you guys are here with me and taking your time out tonight to chat. So it's Thursday, 7 p.m. It is the last Thursday of January. I have accomplished a goal this month because I stuck to my schedule to go live on Thursday at 7 o'clock throughout all of January. And I'm going to continue it going forward. So, if you don't know me, I'm Crystal Nicole. I own and operate Crystal Nicole Agency. I'm a personal brand strategist. I help high-powered women, go-getters, entrepreneurs to align themselves, right? To be intentional about everything about themselves, align themselves to have a really dope and effective personal brand. So, tonight I am doing. The topic is, what's your word mantra for 2020? So this is a live with love. Please, by all means, I would love for you guys to interact, thumbs up, all of that. And shoot me a message, right? I will say though, as I'm on here, I do try to kind of like focus. So if I don't acknowledge you or I don't answer a question right then and there, I always will go back and do so. Okay, so the whole month we've been talking about understanding what a personal brand is, the difference between personal brand and branding, how its impact is important, the elements of personal branding, right? From your style, your flavor, your presence is like basically how you command a room or your environment, and branding, like what all of that is, and how when that's all in sync, things just align for you perfectly. So I wanted to take a little different turn tonight and talk to you about your word or your mantra. So honestly, I'm gonna be real honest about this week. This week has been really, really extremely heavy. I think it's been heavy for all of us. I know we started the week off with that horrible news on Sunday about Kobe Bryant and then his daughter and his family. I mean, that was just, right, that's on another level. And then the next day, my family lost a really close family member, right, a friend of the family, and he was very young, and it was just senseless. So since then, it's just been heavy. So in addition to that, I really didn't want to be online. I didn't want to see anything else about Kobe. I don't want to read anything else. Like, he was great. His legacy is great. I just don't want to continue to see stuff. I just don't, right? Because it's like getting all in my spirit. So with that, I kind of thought, I didn't know if I was going to stick to it, go live tonight. And I was like, what does it matter? But, I decided no. Like, if I made a commitment to do that, I'm going to do that. And I feel like whenever I go live or whenever I'm on here, somebody's going to get something from it. And if they can, then good. I'm all for it. Okay, so that's that. So anyway, let's go back to last year, and I want to kind of share with you what my word was for last year. And then how, by having and setting a word like that, it transpired to taking me through that whole year. So much has happened, and now I've set another word for this year. And I also would love for you guys to share what your word is. So if I can't respond back to it now or say something now, I will come back for sure. So last year, my word was intention and intentional. My mantra basically is live life with intention. And I even have it, I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that on my wall? Right up there? Yeah. So I have that on my wall. And it's a reminder to me. I mean, I don't really need to be reminded because I really do that. But it's a reminder of me to kind of always be aware that everything that you do has a point and a purpose. People are always watching. You are always impacting something or someone, whether you know it or not. So when you know that and you have that responsibility, right? It should be a sense of responsibility so that when you do something, do it with intention or do it with the knowing that it could be impacting someone else's life, right? So for me, living with intention, when I say that, it's not about like, oh, I'm always on display, so let me be perfect. It's not even about being perfect. It is about being aware. So with that being my word for last year, I don't do resolutions. I don't know if you guys saw that video. I don't do resolutions because, to be quite honest, I don't remember them. I don't remember my resolution past saying what it is. I've never kept a resolution. I don't know. I don't know because I don't even remember what it was. But I do, set words, right, that can help my whole year. So last year it was intention. And everything I did was with intention, right? So, when I interact with somebody, it was with intention. If I reached out to you for business, it was intentional. If I started something, it was intentional. When I walked out on my job, was that last year? Or the year before? Yeah. When I walked out on my job, it was with intention. Intention for another opportunity for me, right? Intention that I wasn't going to be, treated like that no matter what the salary was. So it carried me throughout my whole year. And because of that, because I was not on autopilot, and I was intention in what I was doing, it allowed so much stuff to be open to me, right? And stuff that I had personally set out there. So with intention and being intentional kind of goes hand in hand with manifesting. But we'll get into that later, right? So carried me on throughout. And towards the end of the year, it was like, you know what? I have been ready to launch or being in the ready to launch phase in my business for forever. And I said that I'm going to do it. And I'm going to start by getting back on video, being visible, saying and showing up when I say I'm going to do so. Even if no one else shows up, I'm going to be quite honest, it's not even about you in this moment. It was about me. If it's a promise I said to myself because I had an end goal, I'm going to do it. And so through that, I launched a group. It's been very successful. You guys have supported and I appreciate that, right? I'm getting ready to launch my program where I'm helping women in business and entrepreneurial women or even women that's still in corporate to align themselves so that when they step out, they step correct. They're very clear and concise on what their personal brand is and the value they bring. And that was all because that word and that mantra, live with intention. So it brings me all up into 2020. And I asked you guys earlier, and some of you guys have responded, and I hope that you guys go back and still respond because I'm going to interact back with you guys and talk to you a little bit more, what your word or mantra is for 2020 for this year. So for some of us, 2020 has already been a doozy, right? I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not. I actually, in 19 was not bad as well. But I'm just going to say it's been a year of some transformation already, right? And what, we're 30 days in, 29, 30 days in. So this year, my word is balance. And how it came to me, how did I choose that word? To be quite honest, I didn't. It kind of chose me. It came to me. I was like, okay, what is it that I want to achieve? What is it that I need this year, right? Or I want to achieve this year. And the word balance kept coming up to me. And what does that mean? So for me, I still work corporate. I am a personal brand strategist, right? And, I am a wife, a mother, a daughter, and who I am to my friends, right? So I wear many, many hats. And the hats that I wear don't necessarily allow me to take a back seat. I have to be very present in all of that, right? So I found that last year and years before, and what also helped me to not get from one step to the next is that I didn't have balance. I wasn't aligned. And I wouldn't have known that unless last year I said the word intentional. So then I start paying attention. So it's not just a word for that year. It will carry over with you. It actually will help you change in how you operate if you stick with it. So this year it became, I need to get everything in order. The time I need to spend with my family needs to be that. specifically. The time I spend on my business needs to be that specifically, and on my job specifically. And what is going to help me do that? What am I looking for? I am looking for alignment and balance. So whatever your mantra or your word is, needs to be something that resonates to you, to your core. It doesn't need to be something that's just cute and snazzy and because everyone, is saying something. It needs to be something that you can commit to for you. And your definition of that needs to be your definition of it. So my definition of balance is completely different probably than from someone else. And that's okay because it's my balance, not yours. You understand what I'm saying there? So with that, with my intention from last year, I'm being intentional of this year because now it's a part of my life, right? I said that my word is going to be balanced because, I did some self-evaluation, right? I really took a step. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll let it dry. I took a step back and I realized that that's what I needed. And I still struggle with it. I'm not even gonna front. I really struggle with it. Like before this call, I was like on the road trying to make it here because I wanted to stop and we wanted to eat. You know what I'm saying? Versus being here and not having to rush. So I had to come in and make sure that I spoke to my children, my mom, making sure everybody was good. It's like, okay, now I'm going to be here. I'm working on making sure that everyone is getting what they need when they need. So I don't feel like overwhelmed. Like there's so much going on. So anyway, I kind of digress. Okay. So last year the word was intentional. Live with intentional. That was a mantra. I started doing that. I'm still doing that. And because I'm doing that, it opened up so many doors to me. It opened up manifesting. It opened up me being blessed in ways I can't even explain. So then this year it's balance. And because of that, then, I was like, okay, well, I want to start this group. I'm intending to do that. I'm intending to launch and I'm doing that. What do I call it? And it just came to me aligned. The word aligned would not have come to me had my word of the year not been balance. Are you guys following like what I'm saying here? So whenever you're putting something out there, you're putting it out there in the atmosphere, and the things that are going to come back to you are going to be around what you put out there. So that's how the word aligned came up for this group, right? I've always said you need to, to have a great style, to have a great brand, it's style, presence, and brand, right? And that will make you aligned. And so when I did that, I had so many women reach out to me and say how much that word resonated with them. And it resonated with them because I was aligned and I was starting to be balanced and I was intentional. And it was all centered around me so that when I put it out there, the right people got it, they understood, and now they're in the group. So I said all of that to say, all of this is always going to go back to personal branding. So know that. So if you get tired of that, that's what I'm here for. All that goes back to when you understand who you are and you set that intention and you put that out there, the things that will come back to you will be in alignment with you. So that's why a lot of what I'm doing is explaining what all this is so that I'm creating even balance within this group, right? Okay, so that's my word, and that's how I got there. I got a couple of notes, so I'm sorry if I have to look. Okay, so again, the word chose me. I didn't necessarily choose it. The Father, God, gave it to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I think that was him saying, okay, it's time for you to get balance. If you want to take anything to the next level, you have to be present. But for you to be present, Crystal, you have a lot on you. You have a lot of people that are depending on you and are needing you, right? So you need balance. And that is my word. So everything that I'm going to do this year is going to be centered around, is it balancing me or is it getting me off balance, right? So again, when you set your word or your mantra, and a mantra is a saying, something that you kind of live and you kind of go by. When you set that, it helps to drive the direction of your year. It helps to drive direction of your actions, of what you're doing, of how you're going about it. So that's why when you choose something or meditate and allow that word to come to you if you haven't chosen it already, right? We're just in the beginning of the year. It doesn't have to be the beginning of the year. Whatever. Allow it to come to you and allow it to be something that you know that you can commit to and that's personal to you. Not cutesy, not, I don't know, living my best life. There's nothing wrong with that, but what does that mean? I mean, it doesn't mean anything to me because it's not my word. It's not my mantra. But make it make something to you, not just it's a cute and I'm going to try to fit into that. That will never work. It's got to be something so beneficial, so connected to your core that just by natural happenstance, it just comes out, right? Nothing that you have to force. All right, so having a word and a mantra, it is going to drive the direction in your year, in your life, and all of that. You'll start to see things kind of come in line with that. It gives you a sense of awareness, right? That is then becoming intentional. I talk about that a lot, about living with intention. And personal branding is being aware of how you're coming off, of everything, of your life, so that you can make sure that you navigate it the way you want to. So when you set something out there like that, it puts it in the atmosphere and it causes you to be aware. It causes you to take pause or take a moment to say, hey, am I on balance or not? Or am I, living confidently or not? Whatever your word or phrase is, it makes you more aware and it makes you live with intention. There's impact and there's direction, right? So the impact of this balance is, hopefully I will get closer to my goal and I will achieve my goal. My goal is to have a booming business where I'm helping women. To the core, my mission is I feel that everybody, not just women, but everybody deserves to be seen and heard. Not seen in a, look at me type way, but seen truly for who you are. So many of us don't feel like we're seen. We don't even know that we're not seen. We just feel like no one gets me, or I just don't fit in, or I don't know what I like, or I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's because you're not being seen. And maybe you're not being seen by you. Maybe you don't even see yourself. That's what personal branding helps. But I believe that everyone deserves to be seen and everyone's voice deserves to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone should have to shout to get their point out. But you deserve to be heard. So I want a business that helps women do that. That gives women permission to be themselves, to be happy with who they are right now, even if it's not where they want to be, but be happy where you are right now. So I want that, right? I want to continue to have a happy household. I want to be a good wife, to continue to learn what that means. I want to continue to be a good mother, to continue to learn what that means. I want to, continue to be a good friend, to learn more what that means. So that for me is what balance is. And that's why it means something to me. So that's the impact and that's the direction. And that's what I'm going for this year. So hopefully by the end of the year, I will see, an improvement. I will see this manifested. I think I'm seeing it now. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm very much aware of it. And so I got to check myself on certain areas. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, is this balanced? Is this enough? You can't just stay in your office all night working on your business simply because I just love working on stuff. Like that's off, right? Okay, so that's pretty much really what I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about. Just really think about when a person says, because everyone was saying it at the beginning of the year, and even now, like, what's your word? What's your mantra? What is that? Just don't do something because everybody is doing it. Really think about it when you make a decision or you say something or you put it out there. Make sure it's something that really aligns with who you are or somewhere that you want to be. Because if not, it's going to be hard to continue to go on with that. So at the beginning of the year, it was about resolutions. Do you have one? And I explained why I don't have a resolution. And I told you guys earlier, I'm not good with that at all. Like, I don't remember any of that. Probably because it never resonated with me. Or it was something that I knew good and well I was going to do. Like, get up 15 minutes early. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. I know me. I'm not a morning person. And if I got up 15 minutes early, you wouldn't want to be around me. So, like, why is that my resolution? So anyway, no resolution, but I am, I came up like with a mantra or whatever. So I asked you guys all, and I think the video was 4 ways to be more aligned in the new year, right? And one of those at the very end one was live with intention, and I broke that down. And then at the very end, I said, of everything that you thought about, like thinking about what you want and understanding what you want and kind of going for that, what does it take for you to get there? I asked and I challenged everybody to pick one thing to do the month of January that would help you get closer to you being aligned or closer to where you want it to be. So I would love to hear from you guys as far as if anyone took that challenge and if anyone has really thought about it and made that a part of their daily lives. Like, okay, I need to choose one thing that's going to help me get there. So I would love for you guys to share that with me. My one thing was, it was balance. It's not just for January, it's for the whole year. So that's what I have been trying to do, right? That's what I've been, driving forward and driving towards. So I'm not going to hold you guys up for a whole lot tonight, but I just wanted to get on and kind of explain what that means as far as like your word and your mantra, at least from my perspective, how impactful that is and how you shouldn't just flippantly give it a name or, oh, I think this sounds cute. Like, nah, we too grown for that. And part of this, and part of the women that's in this group, and part of like my creed, right, is we don't fake it till we make it. We don't just go with the flow or just do something because it sounds good or I'm just going to be this until I make it. No, like we are going to be intentional. We're going to own up to who we are and where we are and take ownership, right? And take responsibility for where we are in our lives. Okay. If you don't like where you are in your lives, you absolutely have the ability to change it. And if you don't feel like you have the ability to change it, then you're right. You don't. Because what you say will be. So we're not faking it till we're making it. We're going to set our intentions or our mantra responsibly to ourselves. And we're going to take the steps to do so. So if you guys have not been doing that for the month of January, I'm going to put it back on you for the month of February. If you have been doing it, good. Keep it going, right? And you'll see it'll be a pattern and then it'll become just every day for you. But if you have not, think about it. What means something to you? Pray on it. See what comes to you because it will choose you. You can share it with me. You can share it with me privately if you don't want it for everybody because it ain't about, everyone seeing everything. But share it and speak it, like you have to physically speak it, and watch how things start to go and be in aligned with that, right? So again, thank you guys for joining me. I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time out just to hear me, right, and support me. I have some really great things that's coming along that I'll be releasing in the group. I have a contest coming up where I'm going to give away, what is Michelle Obama's book? Balance? What is her book? I'll be giving that away to a few people. And then also, I am really trying to make a goal, and this is by tomorrow, right? But I feel like I can make it. We are at about like 277 people. I really want to get to 300. My goal, honestly, was 100. And we blew that out like, the first few days. So I would love to get to 300 members by tomorrow. So if you could, share this. If you know any woman or anybody for that matter that really needs help with getting back in gear with who they are, understanding that, being okay with that, and then they also maybe want to share their gifts with the world in a business or take their gifts to another level, in a career, please share the group with them. I would love for them to be here. I would love to connect with them and continue to connect with you guys. So yeah, that's my ask for you. And I continue to challenge you for the month of February because we're right here. If you have not said a word or a mantra for 2020, do it. Ask for it to come to you. And then let's check in and see what you're doing, what steps you're taking to get there. So again, thank you guys. Thank you for bearing with me as far as like getting on and going live and all of that. I try something different every week, but it is what it is. And I'm going to be coming out with my next schedule for February about what I'm talking. I'm going to continue to go live Thursdays at 7. I think that what works for us. If there's anything in particular that you guys want to talk about or would like me to talk about or provide more clarity, shoot me a message. Let me know and I'll put it on the calendar to talk about it. I think next week I want to talk about how to tell your brand story, right? How to be authentic and real to your audience. Share with your audience because people want to know, but at the same time, not spilling all your business, right? There's an art to that. So thank you again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Share the group. For you guys on YouTube, Instagram, I'm in Facebook group Aligned. Look me up. Support me there, please, and I will support you as well. And I thank you guys, and I encourage you between now and the next time I see you to live with intention and rock your word for 2020. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. I will talk to you later. Bye.